that venting process as part of...
Hello, we are back. So this is gonna be the review video because last time in the outside actually we tried to figure out and we can't find the rockets. We're gonna actually try to find it here in this video.
The thermal
I will be muted. No pressing. Oh, oops.
for
This I
13 degrees away from the Falcon 9 rocket. Just a hair under 19 minutes to go before the planned liftoff of this Falcon 9 rocket. Today's Falcon flight does shift things around just a little bit on the frequent flyers list of Falcon first stage boosters. Booster that is flying today is tail number B1071, getting ready to tie with B1063 with a total of 26 trips to space and back. Earlier today, we saw the 25th flight of B1069, which launched the Starlink 10-23 mission from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. Still got that three-way tie for the fifth spot here on the list between boosters 1067, 76, 77, and 78. Here's a bar chart representation of the Falcon family of launches year over year. Currently standing at 76 missions for SpaceX in 2025, and of course this will be mission number 77. SpaceX's current only pad on the west coast right now. It'll fly in a southwesterly direction once it heads off from Vandenberg Space Force Base with the first stage booster B1071, targeting a touchdown on the drone ship. Of course, I still love you. If successful, this will be the 138th booster landing for that particular vessel and the 466th booster landing to date. SpaceX is working to certify its first stage boosters as well as its payload fairings for up to 40 flights apiece. Once the fairing halves re-enter the atmosphere, they conclude their splashdown under the support of steerable parachutes into the waters of the Pacific Ocean. They'll then be brought aboard one of the recovery vessels from SpaceX, brought back into port, and turned around for future missions.
In the top left, in the top right, you see the time that when they launch. So in 15 minutes, they will launch.
Taking a glimpse underneath the hood here, here's an image of the stack of payloads that's getting ready to head into low Earth orbit. Again, there are 70 payloads that are manifested on this Falcon 9 stack today. The majority of them were manifested by German company Exo Launch, which also has offices here in the United States. If you'd like to read more about their involvement with this mission, we've got a nice little write-up as part of our preview coverage for this Transporter 14 mission. That's over on our website right now at spacelightnow.com. the standouts here include a re-entry vehicle. If you look on the left-hand side of this payload stack, you see sort of a cylindrical spacecraft that's jutting out from the left with sort of a grayish dome. That is the fourth of the Winnebago series spacecraft reentry vehicle manifested by Varda Space Industries, which was just recently awarded a Part 450 reentry license working with the Federal Aviation Administration that allows them to not have to go back to the FAA every single time for bespoke access to reentry capabilities. It's more time intensive up front, but it's a process that the FAA for Tranche 1 Demonstration and Experimentation System Program satellites, which were developed by York Space Systems. One more for you before we see views of the Falcon 9 rocket. Should be coming up here momentarily. Taking a look at an artist's rendering of the Otter Pup 2 spacecraft, the follow-up to Otter Pup 1, which was launched on the Transporter 8 mission back in June of 2023. This is designed to do another approach, proximity, whether is good to support this mission. Right now you're taking a look at a promotional video from the exploration company about their Mission Possible satellite. And the exploration company working to create that cargo spacecraft designed to travel to and from space stations, both the ISS and commercial ones. At the Paris Air Show, according to reporting from Jeff Faust at Space News, they are also developing a crewed variant of what they're calling the NYX spacecraft, NYX. Got just a brief glimpse of 220,500 pounds of thrust.
Basically right here. First stage is down there, second stage will be up there somewhere. So first stage down there, second stage up here. Bearings where the things will be launched is up here. Anyways, just keep going.
And it will be fired 5 times today over the course of today's process of deploying the payloads. It burns same propellant mix as the first stage, that is liquid oxygen and RP1 rocket grade kerosene. For the call for pressurization for strong back retract, soon the clamp arms just beneath the payload fairings will open up, and then the transporter erector will recline about 13 degrees away from the Falcon 9 rocket. Just beneath the second stage is the inner stage, a composite structure consisting of an aluminum honeycomb core. Stage 2 LOXO should wrap up, coming up here at T-2 minutes. And with that good go for launch call, we're
So we're about to launch in 40 seconds.
For launch call, we're going to step back on our commentary and listen along with you to the final 30 seconds of the count, and we'll be back with you with additional words on the other side of liftoff. T-30 seconds.
On the bottom where the time is, it tells you what's gonna happen.
T-15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. And liftoff of Falcon 9. Go, SpaceX, go, transport Confirm indeed, chamber pressure is nominal.
We are T plus 40 seconds into flight. Falcon 9 has successfully cleared the tower and cleared the fog. We've got a great view there.
Nominal.
After lifting off from Space Launch Complex 4 East at Vandenberg Space Force Base.
Now, I know it looks like it was nighttime. And you guys may, when you look at this video, you may think I was lying on the back video. They dimmed the background so you can see the rocket launching. It's actually very day. But they were dimming it.
California. We are now currently throttling down to prepare for max Q. That's the point of maximum aerodynamic stresses on the vehicle. Max Q is reached when the air density of the atmosphere decreases faster than the increasing speed of the rocket. We're coming up on max Q here in a few seconds.
Max Q.
And there we've passed through max Q.
Coming up next, we'll have several events happening in quick succession, starting with MECO, followed by stage separation, SES-1, and then the boost back burn. Main engine cutoff, or MECO, is where all 9 Merlin 1D engines shut down to slow the vehicle down in preparation for stage separation, which is where the first stage separates from the second stage.
Started.
Then the MVAC engine on the second stage will light, which is called out as Second Engine Start 1, or SES-1. This engine burn, lasting several minutes, will propel the second stage and the payload to orbit. The boost back burn will then assist the first stage in returning to its recovery location on our drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You. Then the fairing will jettison from the second stage, as it's no longer needed to protect the payloads once we are in space. Later, those fairing halves will separate about 30 seconds after SES-1, so keep an eye out for all of those events coming up shortly.
So here they may set off the engine so stage separates and happens. Here, look, the smoke. Literally, the smoke is here. The smoke is literally here. The one we saw. Just 2 of them were for some reason were there.
MECO. Stage separation confirmed. Evacuation.
And there we've had MECO stage separation. On your right-hand screen, you can see the MVAC engine igniting. On your left-hand screen, you can see the grid fins deploying on the first stage, which will soon make its way back down to Earth for a landing on Of Course I Still Love You.
Been a good mission for SpaceX so far, looking for fairing separation. Fairing separation confirmed. And a really nice view of several of the payloads that are going to be deployed over the course of this mission today. Coming up in less than 3 minutes will be the start of the entry burn, which will use 3 out of the 9 engines on the Falcon 9 first stage booster to dramatically slow the vehicle down as it makes its way towards the drone ship. Of Course I Still Love You. SpaceX reports that both the booster and the upper stage are following nominal trajectories. And it looks like the booster is going to be topping out at about 120 kilometers in altitude. Yep, 121. Stand corrected. Start of the entry burn is coming up at about T plus 6 minutes and 14 seconds. So a little less than 2 minutes from now. Those occasional puffs that you're seeing in between the hypersonic grid fins, those are the cold gas thrusters, which help to adjust the vehicle's attitude or positioning as it prepares to make its way towards the drone ship. Now a little less than a minute away from the start of the entry burn. Looking up through the inner stage on the left-hand side of your screen, continuing to get what appear to be views of a nominal burn on the upper stage engine as well, toggling between two different onboard camera views. Just about 10 seconds away from the start of entry burn.
Burn startup. Stage 1 FTS has saved.
There's that call.
This entry burn will last a little less than 30 seconds in total.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
With a wrap-up of the entry burn, we're now looking towards the start of the landing burn. Things are going to be a little bit different order than with a typical Starlink mission, whereas we would see on a Starlink flight usually the landing burn, the landing, and then SECO 1 or second stage engine cutoff. This go around, we're going to see the start of the landing burn, then SECO 1, and then the touchdown of the booster on the drone ship. Of course, I still love you. All that's set to begin right about the 8-minute mark. Whole thing will take roughly 30 seconds.
Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 2 FTS has saved.
And there you just heard that call out for the landing burn start on the Falcon 9 first stage. Again, this is the final burn that this booster will execute before touching down.
Stage 1 landing leg deployed. SECO. Stage 1 landing confirmed. Nominal parking orbit.
And there you just watched as Falcon 9 touched down on Of Course I Still Love You, marking the 26th landing of this booster. We also had SECO 1, which is second stage engine cutoff.
And all those good events that you just saw, and some spectacular views of the payloads that are getting ready to continue on a coast phase before they really get underway with the start of the deployment sequence. As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, this will be a fairly long process with, after the coast phase, the upper stage engine will have another burn at T plus 51 minutes and 3 seconds. There'll be a 4-second burn, and then deployment begins with the quick cubed satellite manifested by EXO launch. At this point, we're going to start to wind down our live commentary coverage here on the channel, but we're not going to walk away from this mission. We'll be shifting this over to Launchpad Live since the video you're seeing here is a celebration of SpaceX and its 500 missions with its Falcon family of rockets, starting with Falcon 1, going through Falcon 9, and of course including Falcon Heavy in the mix. As I was starting to say, though, with the upcoming launch of AX4 in the early morning hours of Wednesday, we'll have about 4 hours of pre-launch coverage beginning Tuesday night, and so we have quite a bit to prepare for. And following 2 very early overnight launches here, we're going to go ahead and give our team a bit of a rest in order to be fresh and ready to give you robust and reliable coverage of that upcoming crew mission, getting ready to lift off from LC-39A here at the Kennedy Space Center. But if you'd like to follow the deployment of the 70 payloads on board the Transporter 14 mission, we'll have that live for you on our 24-hour live stream. That is Launchpad Live right here on the YouTube channel, so no need to go very far. We'll route you over there as soon as we wrap up this stream right now. Do want to welcome in a few folks, thank them for their support with our coverage for this mission. I want to welcome in new channel members Bill M, Michael Alexander Space, and no, I did not start an aerospace company on the side. The 466th Falcon booster landing to date. Finally, with some industry stats, today's flight was the 26th orbital launch from California, the 82nd from U.S. soil, the 90th from a U.S. rocket company, and the 137th orbital launch from around the world. There have been 3 orbital mishaps so far on the year, and here's where our pie chart now currently stands. Again, we'll pop you over to Launchpad Live for alerts when we start our live launch coverage tomorrow evening. For all of us here at Spaceflight Now, I'm Will Robinson Smith. Big thank you to our mods, and remember, be good to yourselves, be good to others, and we will see you next time, folks. And until then, bye-bye.
What would happen if the...
Okay. So, we saw what happened. It is true that the rocket launched off. We did not see it. So it did go, actually launch. So we are right. So let's see you in another one. Bye. Can't stop it. Bye bye.